it isn't. But this is a very bizarre detail in this photo, is that there is a paperback book sitting next to her, and it said, friends say that the paperback book, the author, is one of Tara's favorite authors.
Ah, so it's probably her.
Yeah, it's probably her. But this photograph, it's also creepy how the photograph was found. A woman found the photograph in a parking lot outside of a junior food store in Port St. Joe, Florida.
Okay.
Half the country away. So it's possible that whoever abducted this woman and this boy was just driving around the country in a van with the two of them bound and gagged in the back.
And he was probably looking at the picture, masturbating, and then he came, and then he forgot the picture. That's sad.
Which doesn't really make any sense why you masturbating in the picture when you got the real deal Holyfield in the back of your van.
No, I mean, he probably unloaded him at some point.
And there are various theories as to how Tara Driscoll died Tara Calico. There's a lot of theories as to what happened to her. Some people say that she was killed in a hit and run by a couple of boys that had been harassing her for a few days before that. They would drive next to her in their truck, yell things at her, be just particularly aggressive. And some people think that they may have hit her and killed her and buried her body somewhere.
Well, apparently they've never seen I Know What You Did Last Summer, because that woman's going to come back and murder him.
There's another problem with it, is that the boy, they think it's Michael Henley. His remains, though, were found in 1990, not far from where he disappeared, and investigators believe that he just wandered off and died from exposure because he was hunting turkey in a national park with his father.
You're going to be pretty brazen to go after somebody with a gun who is looking to kill. That's not the easiest person to pick for your victim, I wouldn't think.
And I would say it's especially dangerous if you wear I'm going to whip. Oh, you know what'll be fun today, Brian? Let's put on our kidnapping turkey costume.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. We dress up as turkeys. Are we still kids? Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's fucking great. Benjamin Franklin loved the turkey. No fucking way, Craig.
He did. He wanted to make it the national bird. Yeah, Craig.
There is some other evidence that witnesses saw a woman resembling Tara with a group of men who seemed to be restraining her on a South Florida beach just days before the photo was found.
So maybe they should have. You stop it, maybe. You know, I love all these witnesses.
It's more important to be a witness than a hero.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the other, another detail is that later on down the line, it was like when this case got reopened in 2001, pictures started showing up of the little boy in the original photo from his class picture with a pen drawn fake tape mark over his mouth, just like the picture in the original photograph.
Yeah, right. They said it was an imitation of the 1989 Polaroid. But on the other hand, this was in August of 2009, so this picture had already been floating around the internet quite a bit at this point. Right. So it's probably just some dumb, sick motherfucker.
I wonder if that guy shook it like a Polaroid picture after he took it.
I wonder if he did.
Kind of got a little wiggle.
That's the outcast song.
That was 2009. I mean, that would have been out for a few years by that point.
I just can't believe the guy didn't take the Boston. You know, I feel like the guy that would go out there and kill a bunch.
Because he's probably looking at their tapes and he's just like, Credence, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what's this? Ooh, is this? Ooh, my Sharona. Yeah, taking that one. Boston. I can't rape to Boston. Throw it back out into the dirt.
Yeah, Boston's, it's too good feeling.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. You can't do something that evil when you're listening to Boston. Impossible.
No, all you want to do is ride down the highway with the top down.
Yeah.
You got a girl with golden curls sitting in your lap and you're driving and it's dangerous.
Right. And
but it's romantic.
Yeah, and you're fat. Sure, if your fat goes over your belt, but you still feel muscular.
Yeah.
So there's one woman who's not giving up on the case. Her name is Melinda Esquivel. She was a former classmate of Tara's, and apparently she's making a documentary that is executive produced by R.J. Mitty, who played Walt Jr. on Breaking Bad.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, and that's the pop culture connection to that.
There it is. There it is. Is it almost time for another breakdown?
Halloween breakdown.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some good old-fashioned Men in Black.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, I love this story so much.
We got Dr. Herbert Hopkins in September of 1976.
To be honest, we should do an entire episode about the Men in Black.
Absolutely.
And we will. I just love this story so much, and we probably should have saved it, but it's great for Halloween. This is, if you want to properly dress up like a Men in Black for Halloween, this is the way to do it, the way this man is described. But the big thing is, so Men in Black, just a quick breakdown, is that the stories that are involving Men in Black usually involve men who come to an area that has had a recent UFO sighting or crash or landing, right? Or some sort of experience. And they are men in black suits that act as if they don't know how to be human beings. Yeah. They're honest. They're very strange, pointed faces, weird laughter, weird type things. They ask questions about you and about what you know about the UFOs, and then they leave.
But they're not even.
No one knows what the fuck they are.
It's not even necessarily paranormal. For a fact, the Men in Black were there after the plane went down over what was it, Long Island, right?
Yeah. Yes. Weird stuff. So this guy, Dr. Herbert Hopkins, he was a doctor and a hypnotist. He was acting as a consultant on an alleged UFO teleportation case in Maine. So one evening, Herbert's hanging out at the house alone. The telephone rings, and a man that says he is the vice president of the New Jersey UFO Research Organization, he asked if he could come by, visit Dr. Hopkins, and just talk about certain details on the case. Mm-hmm. And he said,
normally you imagine the guy who's the vice president of the New Jersey UFO Research Organization would be like, he'd show up and be like, hey, it's going on. How you doing, buddy? You help put him in the air conditioning? Hey, yeah, I saw the UFO too, huh? Yeah, what about them giants, huh? Oh.
So Herbert goes back to the back porch, turn on the light because he's out in the country, turns on the light so the vice president of the New Jersey UFO Research Organization can easily find the house.
Right.
But he said that as soon as he turned on the light, a man was already this guy was already climbing up the porch steps.
Right. So then in his head, he's like, oh, if I play this right politically, I could become president.
This is 1978. No cell phone. So this guy had to have called from a landline somewhere. And at the time, Dr. Hopkins said he felt no particular surprise. He said the man was dressed in a black suit, a black hat, black tie, black shoes, and a white shirt. He said, I thought he looked like an undertaker. But he said the clothes were immaculate, suit unwrinkled, trousers sharply creased. Mm-hmm. But when the man took off his hat, he said that he was completely hairless, not only bald, but he also had no eyebrows and no eyelashes. His skin was dead white, but his lips were bright red.
So he's a Mormon.
Yes. Yes, this is actually a very obscure form of Jehovah's Witness.
Yes.
As well. It's called the Jokers. They're the Jokers Society of the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Dr. Hopkins said that at one point in the conversation, the man in black brushed his lips with his gray suede gloves. And the doctor said that the lips were smeared and the gloves were stained with lipstick.
Yeah, so he had no lips, and so in order to pretend to have lips, he put lipstick on himself. It's like it's like aliens who have no concept of what people are, and so they're like, the lips are red. What is that lip goo? Can I have some? It's like, how are my lips? And they're like, Klaxor, if you were a Klaxor right now, I would be making love to your beautiful, beautiful mouth.
I mean, I'm from Wisconsin.
Go scare Dr. Hopkins.
Yeah. So being from Wisconsin, I will say it also reminds me of a lot of white Scandinavian girls. Very thin lips on these women.
Extremely so.
Yeah.
So there were other strange goings on while the man in black was visiting Dr. Hopkins. The man in black said that he just stated, he out of the blue said, "You have 2 coins in your pocket." And of course, he did have 2 coins in his pocket.
He did, huh?
So he asked the doctor to put the coins in his hand, and he said to watch the coin. Don't watch me. Right. Don't watch me. Watch the coin. And he said as he watched, the coin started to go out of focus, and then it gradually vanished. And the visitor told him,
neither you nor anyone else on this planet will ever see that coin again. And
then the man rose unsteadily to his feet and said slowly,
my energy is running low. Must go now. Goodbye.
Oh my God, he's an old magician.
And then he walked falteringly to the door and descended the outside steps uncertainly, one at a time. Which is him just like, one step, stepping like a human. Don't say it out loud, Klaxor. Don't say it up. 1 second step. This is difficult. I'm used to being in my goo cylinder.
Right. So he's a vaudevillian magician suffering from MS.
Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, when the man started walking out to the driveway, Dr. Hopkins saw a bright bluish white light, much brighter than a normal car lamp. And he neither saw nor heard anything. And, of course, he was very scared. He complied with his visitor's instruction, which was to erase the tapes of the hypnotic sessions he was conducting with regard to the case in Maine.
All right.
And he had no
so what
further
happens,
to...
so Klaxar walks out. He hears the beep beep. Like he hits like the key button to a fucking UFO, just like a Toyota Corolla brand UFO in
Right.
champagne color, just like parked in a handicap spot. He just climbs into it and leaves.
Pretty cool, though. Yeah, that's
And-
Sorry, I've got to go. I'm double parked. It's an interdimensional craft. It doesn't matter where I park.
could be triple.
Anyways,
park,
I will
man.
see you.
And just so you know, the New Jersey UFO Research Organization, no such institution exists.
Whoa.
See, that's the problem with this whole UFO genre is that I can call anywhere and just be like, "Hello, this is Dr. Henry Zabrowski. I'm from the National Institute of Alien Wardrobe Services." And then then eventually someone will be like, "Oh yes, of course, yes. No, I know you, Dr. Zabrowski. It's Dr. Zabrowski.
Right, yeah.
I didn't go to 9 years of fake medical school to be called Mr. Zabrowski."
All right, here we go.
So, but I guess it sounds like, I don't know, I'm getting like a weird alarm on my phone going off. It seems like it's time for a Halloween breakdown.
Breakdown.
Is your best friend Larry having fun?
She is.
It's a Halloween breakdown.
Halloween
I'm
breakdown.
having one.
Oh, my God. And yes, indeed, she did. Mop boy.
All right, we're going to go for a trio of corpse stories here.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, yeah, because no Halloween is complete without a fetid, rotting corpse.
Oh, I want to go to a restaurant that has that on the menu. A trio of corpse stories.
Tree of corpse stories, and it's just like this one is called Mr. Henderson's finger. And it's just like, oh, so is it like ham?
It's just a hot. It's just a hot dog.
It's a hot dog.
Yeah, it's a hot dog.
So we're going to start with our first corpse story is going to be about a Florida teen that has shades of psycho in it, maybe even shades of Geen on this one.
Okay.
He was arrested on a homicide charge after cops found his mother's rotting corpse inside the trailer home that they shared for more than a week after she went missing.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, it's Miami, so she was still alive.
This woman, her name is Tamara Davis. She was 42. Her son, Tyrese Landrum, was 15 years old. Of course, Davis, she went missing on August 21st. She disappeared from the home from her boyfriend's home at the end of a long night of drinking.
Whoa.
Yes,
Yeah.
her boyfriend said that she was heavily intoxicated. And neighbors say that Cassiano, that's the boyfriend, and the woman's son continued to live in the house for the next 10 days while the rancid smell spread throughout the neighborhood.
Cassiana is a pretty cool name, though.
Yeah, Marcos Cassiano.
Oh, Marcos. I'll date him. He's the king of the trailer park.
I mean, Marcos is also like the perfect mom's new boyfriend name. It's like Marcos or like
Right.
Seth. You know, it's just like, yeah, whatever, Seth. You're
Yes.
not my dad.
yeah, Stefan, something like that.
The smell was so bad that there were up to 20 buzzards sitting in the tree outside.
Getting ready to eat, huh?
Brought there by the smell. When they asked the son what the smell was, he said, probably a dead cat or a raccoon or whatever.
You know how dead cats are. They're always everywhere.
Yeah,
and they're shaped like my mother. Did I say that?
That's great.
And he said that sometimes cats or raccoons, they get trapped under the house, they die, and
Yeah.
we just kind of leave them there and wait for the smell to go away.
So those buzzards are just like, when are we going to eat? When does it happen? It's like when a new shoe comes out and everyone waits outside a Foot Locker for the night. That's insane. They wait.
So let me say. It smells like dead mother.
Yeah, that's gotta be.
Yeah. Do we want to go get it? Do we go get it? It's like, I don't know. I haven't learned to open a door yet. Have you, Larry? He's just like, I hope I have.
Yeah.
We said no more cartoon vultures here.
I agree. And maybe that's how evolution began.
Absolutely.
That for the vulture. They'll have thumbs in no time. People keep on dying in trailer parks in Miami.
So the next story up involves maggots coming in from above. A family was plagued by maggots falling into their kitchen, and they were horrified to discover that the source was a decomposing body in the apartment upstairs.
I actually think that's a good, at least there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
It's better than maggots just hanging out.
Yeah.
But if this was fucking Iron Chef, they would have learned to cook with them in 9 different ways in a bunch of different flavor stylings.
Yeah, they should have played Survivor House and not been allowed to leave. Eat the maggots.
Yep. The mother said, we looked through the window, and I've never seen anything like it. There were flies coming out of the window above my head, and then there was a breeze of air inside, and the smell was horrendous. I almost threw up. I called the police straight away.
Right.
The police came over. They broke into the apartment upstairs, and they found a decaying body which had been laying in there for a month.
Man, flies got it good, because let's say she did get sick and she threw up. More food. More fly food.
More fly food. And the
Yeah.
maggots were falling into the kitchen.
Right. Yeah, right on all the steak and Frito-Lays.
Quite very awful. So the last corpse story that we're going to cover, and this is a fascinating one here because it involves one of the biggest gatherings of corpses in the history of the world, Jonestown.
Oh, well, right.
Oh yeah. Man, can you this fucking duty to have to like show up? First of all, be shipped to South America
Right.
to do it, and just being like, can't we just get? Guys, I don't want to be like racist or anything, but isn't South America like the hive of maids?
Right. But they're all over here, so we got to go over there and take care of the body. Leave them. Leave the body. Let Earth take care of it,
Yes, absolutely. Let the life cycle take care of it. 'Cause
Right.
Simba, that's what Simba would have wanted.
I agree, yeah. Why can't you just put tombstones where they're dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is something that a lot of people don't really think about, and I've really never thought of it
Yeah.
before. And anytime there are a lot of bodies anywhere, like let's say Katrina, ton of bodies around Katrina, somebody's got to clean that up.
Well, I mean, every tragedy is a benefit for somebody. So if you're in the body business, Katrina was a hell of a day for you.
Oh yeah.
Well, I will say this. So to be honest, my cousin who works at the Secret Service, part of what the Secret Service did right after 9/11, part of their job was they were a part of the recovery crew. And so my cousin's job was to go, basically what they did for 9/11 is that they would airlift the rubble out to a dump in Jersey, and they put on these gigantic spacesuits.
Hazmats, yeah.
Yeah, and dug through the rubble looking for body parts.
And so
that's
like
like what they did.
There's some funeral home dude who's just like, yeah, they never thought my idea for party bus funeral homes was a good idea until now. I can put 30, 40 corpses in my party bus funeral home
all it
mover.
took was a 9/11. I hope there's 9 more.
Yeah. Party bus hearses, come on down.
Well, apparently the 193rd Infantry Brigade, they are the branch of the Army that's involved and tasked with cleaning up bodies.
So they say like, no, I knew him. I knew that guy. I knew that guy. So they just go, that's the perfect position to be in. If you're in the military, you're guaranteed to live. You're picking up the dead.
Yeah, you're there after the fact.
Wow.
Yeah. So they thought, of course, the identification process on this was next to impossible. Remember, there are 913 bodies.
Right.
And only a few of them had the homemade ID bracelets because that's what they wanted to do. Some of them, thought far enough ahead that there's going to be a lot of corpses here. It's going to be hard to identify us, so I'd better put on an ID bracelet. So
Great
my
thinking,
family,
Margaret. How about we just leave? Huh? How about we just go?
And they didn't get to the bodies until 4 days after the mass suicide. And so the bodies were extremely bloated. They said that the heads resembled those of severely hydrocephalic children. And remember, this is in South America. This is in a tropical climate.
Oh, right.
A tropical climate will cause a body to bloat and to decompose much faster than, say, if this happened in the Mojave Desert.
Oh, they're sucking
And the
all
bodies
the
were covered in parrots.
Yeah.
Which is
And that's
also
kind of
very
fun.
difficult to get through.
Yes, they said that the skin color of almost every victim was a dark blue-black, which made identifying by race impossible.
It was a purple people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a weird thing about it, is they said that the only person that remained recognizably Caucasian was Jim Jones himself.
Jim Jones.
He was
He
one
was
of the
also paying. He wore makeup.
Yeah. He probably killed himself in an air-conditioned type room.
Oh,
don't you
and
think?
that new Jonestown documentary is fantastic.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. And it seemed, didn't Jim Jones shoot himself?
Did he do the shoot?
Yes.
Yeah, he shot it. So I'm surprised.
He took the poison and then shot himself in the head.
So I guess there was more room for the water to leak out, so he didn't get the bloat.
Yeah, and this is this account where I got all of this information from this is an account by one of the soldiers who was tasked with going and cleaning up all of these bodies.
Right.
And he actually did make a very good point here, in which Jim Jones, his entire message was bringing black and white together, equality.
Yes.
Really, that's what